What's up, everyone? We got a UFC Abu Dhabi DraftKings cash game lineup builder show. Do me a favor, smash the like button, make sure you follow as well, and we are going to build a lineup for cash games. It's head-to-heads, double-ups, 50-50s, anything like that. Hopefully you watch the live stream breaking down all the fights. I'm not going to break down the fights on this show. Just going to build a cash game lineup, walk you through some strategy. You want to sign up for more strategy talk and all the other good stuff, check out DFS Army, link in the description. I pull up the odds from my other window because odds are very important when we're talking cash games. You want to get the best value for your money. So let's dive right into value for your money in terms of your DraftKings $50,000 salary, I should say. First decision to make on every slate, it is going to be the main event. What do we do with the main event? Are you playing one side? Are you stacking? Are you going to fade? This is important because it is a 5-round fight, obviously. Higher floor, typically, unless you get those really, smash spots or heavyweight fights. Sometimes one side or another, one guy's got a really low floor. I will say for Whitaker and DeRitter, if you watch that show, I am very high on the Whitaker side. I'm going to run Whitaker solo. I will say, if you're not as sold on the fight, I think this is an okay fight to stack both sides of, just based on the card. We're a little bit tight in the underdog spot. I think you can stack. My preference is going to be to run Whitaker solo. I'll do a version of cash game lineup with the stack if that is something you are considering. I like to typically find which underdogs I want to plug in and kind of build from there. So, two things to consider here. You want underdogs who are going to win, obviously, and then if they're going to lose, do they have a good floor? So, a couple things to look out for in this one. The first thing to consider, I would say, as you go down this list, the first fight that is expected to go to decision for an underdog, I believe, is the Grant Blackshear fight, and I'm not even 100% sure, so that's why we have the odds open. No, it's like 50-50, minus 130 in some books, minus 115 to go to a decision. If I'm pulling up real quick, the Piotr Jan fight. Actually, it is Jan McGee. So Piotr Jan and Marcus McGee minus 260 to go to a decision. That right there puts Marcus McGee in super firm cash game status, even as a big underdog. Should get 3 rounds of action. I actually do think he's live in this fight. I think that fight likely goes to a decision, but I would actually rather play for McGee where I know I'm going to get the floor. So really, 3 underdogs for me to consider on this slate. McGee, for the reason we just mentioned. Then you have, I'll skip over the third one here. You got Tabitha Ricci, 7,600 against Amanda Hebas, I think is live for cash games. And similar reasoning here. I think this line should be a little bit closer and even a bigger floor, minus 500 to go to a decision. We are very, very highly expected to go to a decision. The third option in this range, and I think you're going to need 2 of these 3 if you're not going to stack, is Bogdan Guskov. Now, Guskov is extremely risky. I think he wins the fight, but this is where there is no floor here. Krylov could get a quick finish, and Guskov could put up no points, but he's one of my favorite dogs in terms of a straight pick to win. Perfect example, this fight is minus 170 to go to end under 1.5 rounds. So if he wins, probably going to put up 100 plus. Whereas if Ricci or McGee wins, they're going to put up that 60 to 70, maybe 80. Because the point is that you're going to have less upside with Ricci and McGee and more safety. In terms of the mid range, I kind of skipped over it. I do, and then you got kind of this mid range to talk about. Who do I think's live here? I like Aswell Mabayev. I think he's a really good spot. I don't understand why he's a slight dog. I favor him slightly. So you get strong cash game consideration here. And same thing for me with Bryce Mitchell looking to grapple against Saeed Nurmagomedov. probably not one first option in. So that's what we're looking at below this mid-range of 80, midline of 8,100. In terms of favorites, I want to play. Shockingly enough, I don't really want to play Shara. 9,600, yes, he's safe. I'm really worried about the scoring upside here. Doesn't grapple, not high volume, needs the quick knockout. Yes, MAB can be got at, but I think I want to be a little bit safer. So it really, this 9K and above, it's everybody's fine with the exception of Piotr Jan. Leal, I actually wouldn't play Nguyen, is my opinion, because as bad as Yaya is, Stephen Nguyen is not want a UFC fight. I want safety. There's a little bit of unknown here. I'm not going to play him in cash games. Buchechka is new to the UFC as well, but he is a massive favorite who's expected to finish and comes from ONE FC legit promotion. Carlos Leal, I think, has got the best combination of safety and upside. He's probably my favorite play up in this range. Ibo Aslan and Billy Alcana, that's great. Fight screams GPP. And now you get to some of these other decisions we talked about. So I think you can go, I got Whitaker and Leal as my favorite, McGee and Ricci. If I come down here, you can start plopping in Asu Amabayev, and then you play whoever you want. If you want to plug in Shara because he's super safe, you can do that. If I wanted to stay up in this range, I would probably go Bryce Mitchell, and then you can play Buchechka or Blackshear. I don't mind this for cash games. I think I would rather play Asu Amabayev. You got a lot of work. You got a lot to work with here if you put in McGee and Ricci. Now, if you don't like Ricci, so let me back up here. I think first option one, is Whitaker, McGee, Ricci, Leal, and then some combination of Almabayev and a pay up or Mitchell and a pay up. That would be option one. I would say if you don't like Ricci, you may not have to go all the way down there. You have Asu Almabayev, Bryce Mitchell, and then you can get in Blackshear or Aslan, or if you want to, take a shot on one of the pay ups. Looking at it on paper, this might be my favorite right now. You got Whitaker, you got a punt down to McGee, and then you're able to get in all favorites. You're just punting McGee and loading up some mid-range picks and favorites. I think that is super, super solid. If you come down here and you put Ricci back in, you can pay up anybody. So I really think you're landing on Whitaker, McGee, Leal. And then if you wanted to come back and put in Rainier DeRitter because you want to stack, you got this 8,700 left over. Then I think you're picking this mid-range. You're picking between Almabayev and Mitchell. I would lean Almabayev personally. And then another pay up, whether you want to take a shot on Nguyen, Blackshear. I think all that is fine if you want to, stack down, get another underdog after McGee. But looking at the salaries, I don't think you need to. So those are all viable options. I'm going to tell you, I think my preferred is we got Whitaker, McGee, Leal, Almabayev. And so I think for me, it's these four. The other option with DeRitter we just covered. And it's either Mitchell, somewhere up in the Blackshear range, or you take Mitchell out, you end up this Ricci Goosecoff range, depending on how aggressive you want to be, and then go ahead and pay up for Shara just because it's super safe and you've taken stabs elsewhere. So that's where I think you need to be considering your how you should be looking at your cash game lineups. One more time again, for those of you who don't know, I cannot give out a full complete lineup. DraftKings does not like that. And again, there are options. I want to just talk through the options, what you should be considering. There are a few different ways to go. Let me just put up my favorite one more time on screen to head out. I think it would be those four, right now leaning towards the Mitchell Blackshear combo, but a lot of options there. Hope you guys liked that conversation, how you should be approaching cash games. Make sure you watch the live stream talking about the fight breakdowns for every fight on the card. Drop a comment. Let me know if you like these type of breakdowns. That's what we got for today, guys. Good luck. And unless you are facing me in a head-to-head, go ahead and cash those contests. I'll see you next time.